Yes, those that won't make to the orientation, we are going to avail the recording to them so that they do not miss what we are going to discuss here today. So I will begin by first letting you know who are present from our institution here. With us, we have my colleague, Monica, Miss Monica. She's in charge of the US program. We also have our administrator at Global Health and Immigration Consultancy. She's called Mrs. Caroline Tethi. We also have our German tutor that will be taking us through the German language training, Frau Gloria Simbaulanga. For those of you that wonder what Frau is the German for Mrs. Beginning the lessons right away. So Frau Gloria Simbaulanga will be taking us through the German language training. Then with us is our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Josephat Moses. Ms. Karin Velenkota, our partner from Germany, was supposed to join us, but unfortunately she won't make it because she was in Kenya. She's traveling back to Germany, so she cannot be able to attend, but possibly we are going to engage with her as we continue with the program. So all my colleagues I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for that small technical hitch from our connection. I hope it's not going to misbehave. All right. First, I know we've engaged with a lot of you on WhatsApp, on calls concerning the German program, but I would just like to echo a few aspects of the program. Number one, I know most of you are aware that it is a requirement that for anyone that wishes to work in Germany, they need to be conversant with the German language first. And that explains why we are going to conduct the classes. What we are going to study is basically the elementary level of the language. So level A1 and level A2. Of course, there are other levels, the intermediate, B1 and A2, and the advanced C1 and C2, but we're not going to look into that. We're only going to take you through what is necessary for visa appointment and processing, and that is up to level A2. So the classes, like we communicated before, will be starting, we said it's going to start on 3rd, but we just realized maybe 3rd possibly is going to be a holiday because of our Muslim brothers. So possibly we are going to start our classes on 4th of May. That is when we are going to start our classes, and they're going to take exactly 16 weeks for both levels. So that is 2 months for A1 and another 2 months for A2. Then after that, we get to sit an exam. It is a physical exam with Goethe Institute. We have Goethe Institute here in Nairobi. We also have another institute in Mombasa. So those are the two centers that you're going to conduct the examinations. Then those that are going to be successful, and once you have the certificate, we begin the processing right away. I'm sure the CEO is going to take us through this in details. Our classes will be conducted in the evening because of the schedule. We do not want to inconvenience those that will be working during the day. That's why we conduct our classes in the evening. But there is also a possibility of having another session maybe during the morning hours, but that one will be discussed later in other interactions. So basically, we always record our classes so that those that can't make it to, into the classes can have access to these recordings at their own convenient time. So, but we always emphasize that as much as we are going to record the classes, class attendance is very important, given the fact that this is a foreign language that entails, that contact between the teacher and the students. So we always echo that as besides the fact that we are recording the classes and we are going to avail the recordings to you, that you take time to attend the classes and learn the concept. Mostly, we are going to be using Zoom the Zoom platform for our classes. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the Zoom platform. For those of you that aren't familiar, then do not worry, because we're going to take you through that. And basically, we have etiquette that we have to observe in taking any online class. These are some of things that you're going to be guiding you. Those that are not familiar to Zoom, you can always text me on WhatsApp and I will be able to guide you. Of course, maybe during the first day of the classes, we are going also to take you through the details of what entails Zoom and what needs to be observed as a student and how to interact with the teacher and henceforth. But I'm sure with the digital era, then most of us are familiar. Sorry, I had to change my net. I hope it is not going to misbehave again. I've changed it. It's not going to misbehave. All right, I hope you can hear me now. Okay, so like I said before, we are going to take you through the Zoom, the platform, and all of you are going to be conversant with the platform for the sake of the training. And we're also going to take you through the class etiquette and what you were supposed to do at what time concerning the classes and everything. We are going also to avail, just after you started the classes, we are going to avail the checklist according to the employer's standard. There are some documents that you have to start preparing in advance. There are some that you're going to work on. I'm sure you have almost all that is required, but there are, you can be missing one or two. So I will be availing the checklist from our partner so that we start organizing the documents, so that by the time you are done with A1, then our documents are in order and we can begin the processing right away. So this will be doing the first week after we've started the classes. Then, like we said before in our previous interaction, yes, we need up to up to level A2 for visa processing and appointment booking. But with your A1 certificate, we'll begin the interaction with our partner and we'll be taking you through interviews with the same. So these are some of the guidelines that we are going to take you through, and I'm sure our CEO is going to echo that. So we do not intend to take so much of your time today because it is already evening. I'm sure most of you are even joining from the Matatu. I just got a communication from one of our students that they were joining from a Matatu. We don't want to take most of your time here today. So I will just quickly ask Monique to just say hi and introduce herself before we proceed.
Hi, good evening. Hello. Also, as I was saying, my name is Monica, and I work with GHIC as a coordinator. So I think we have interacted with a number of you at different capacities, and I'm so excited. Hello.
We can hear you, Monica.
So I think we have interacted with a number of you on different platforms, and I'm so excited for you to embark on this program. And I hope that you won't give up. It will take a process. So I'd advise that you look at the bigger picture. So as you go through the training and the other processing, you wish you all the best.
All right, thank you, Monica. Then with us also is Frau Gloria Simbaulanga, the German trainer.
Okay, guten Tag. Guten Abend. Yeah, my name is Frau Gloria Simbaulanga, and I'll be taking you guys from A1 beginners level for German language. And yeah, you're welcome on board. I'm sure you're going to enjoy your lessons. Thank you.
Frau Gloria, most of them were worried during the intake that German is kind of tricky. I used to tell them that it's not tricky. It's a very easy language to learn. Maybe you can just emphasize because you are the trainer and you know it
Oh, yes.
better.
Oh, yes. So German language, frankly speaking, is very interesting language, I can say. And among the languages that I've learned, I love this language and it's very easy. Yes, when you write the words, you can get a bit scared that they're a bit long. But when you start learning them, pronouncing them, I tell you, you're going to fall in love with this language, trust me. And it's not difficult at all. It's very easy, just like Swahili. The way you are writing the words is the way you are pronouncing them and you are speaking them. So what you're just supposed to do is just to follow what the teacher is telling you and do your homework, attend the classes, attend the classes, attend the classes. Thank you.
Yes, she had to echo the attendance. It is key. Yeah, as much as we are recording, you are required to attend because it is a foreign language and all of us are grown-ups. You know what happens with the language, especially with grown-ups. But it's an easy language, and when we follow the instructions and everything, I'm sure we're all going to pass this very easy and interesting language. All right, thank you, Frau Gloria.
Dankeschön.
With us also is our admin, Mrs. Caroline Tethi.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Caroline Tethi, and basically I'll be taking you through the administrative part of the German program. And welcome on board, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Caro. You had something to add beside that because we are not going to give you more opportunity. No more opportunity. So maybe anything you need to address concerning the program?
Do I talk about the payments right now or later?
Yeah, sure. Right now, we don't intend to take long.
No. So, basically, I would want to talk about the official communication. So our official communication is via email. So kindly keep checking your emails for any communication that might come from the administration department. So for the payments, first, basically, I know Mike informed everyone about the payments. So I'll talk about the installments. The first payment that is expected is the 4,200. That is for the registration. Then after the registration, we will have the first installment for the payment for the A1 classes. That is 11,000. So the total amount is 22,000 for the entire for the A1. So you will pay 11,000 before the classes begin, and then 11,000 as the classes are about to end. Then we have 25,000, which is for the A2. The reason most of you ask why the A2 is a little bit expensive, it's because for the A2, you will be learning more about the German program and the German classes and the lessons themselves. So for the A2, it's 25,000. You pay 12,500 as before the classes commence, and then 12,500 once the classes are about to end. Then we have now the consultation fee, which is one where for us to work on your administrative part of it, where we will help you compile your documents, and also Mike will be sending you the documents that you are required to provide. So basically for all that, you will be paying 50,000, which is to be paid. You will pay half of it once we begin the process, and then half when we are about to end. So for the deadlines, I'll be communicating to you via WhatsApp, via email. and also WhatsApp on when the deadline is when the deadlines are about to come. So basically that's it, not unless Mike will have anything to add, and we also Mr. Josephat, our CEO, if he'll have anything to add. Thank you, Mike.
All right, thank you. She's our admin, Ms. Caroline Teti. And I also like to emphasize that, like I told you in our previous interaction, that these fees are way waived. We tried so much to waive the fees for those of you that had interacted with us before we looked into the fees. We are talking of 238,000 for everything, but then we felt like that was too much, especially for healthcare practitioners and also with the agency. So we had to engage with our employer, and we were able to waive some of these costs, and the employer is going to cover most of them. And initially we had to take more training while here in the country before we cross over, but some of the training will be conducted when you cross over to Germany and will be fully catered for by the employer. So we try to break down the payment into installments so that we don't find it heavy to bear, and you can pay slowly as you take the training and as you see how the program goes. So I would like to welcome now our CEO, Mr. Josephat Moses, to introduce himself and to take us through the program and what it entails. Welcome, sir.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Mike, and thank you, the team that we have here. And also, I'm glad that our medical practitioners are joining us in this program in their good number. To introduce myself, my name is Josephat Moses Uchieng. I'm the Managing Director of Global Health and Immigration Consultancy. We're based here in Nairobi, Parklands area. You are welcome to visit us anytime, any day. That is between 9 and 4. But we'd be glad to have you on appointment. The program is a very interesting program, the German Work Exchange Program. It's a very interesting program, number one, because the partners that we are working with people who are desirous, people who want to give our healthcare workers the opportunity to experience the global arena as you serve humanity, and that is serving in Germany. But before I go there, may I give you a little background of our organization. The organization is called Global Health and Immigration Consultancy, which is a limited company, which is for profit. It is owned by Center for Africa Volunteers, CAV. If you're looking at the background of Mr. Mike, you will see CAV. So CAV is a nonprofit, is a charitable organization that promotes peace, sustainable development, and African unity. And we are linking and working with people of the African descent and also all races from other nations, other countries, to create the opportunity for business and for work and for educational exchange program. So the program that you are in is an exchange program for work, not volunteering, but work. But again, as work is, if you supplement it by the aspects of volunteerism, then you become the best in that field. Number two, this program, again, it's a program that will get you out of Kenya to go work in Germany for a period of 5 years, or between 3 to 5 years. That is the visas that I believe we are working towards getting. The contract will be between 3 years to 5 years. There are those of you who will work in care homes, and there are those of you who will be working in hospitals. All the details as to what you'll be doing, you'll get to know during the interviews with the employers. Now, the employer that we are working with, number one, is an employer. They are running care homes across Germany. And number two, they're also a recruitment agency. They are recruiting for different hospitals across Germany. So the question as to where you'll be working, it's anywhere in Germany. And the details you'll be knowing as you start taking your interview. Perhaps the question again that is asked, how sure am I that I'll get the job? I would put it at 100%, but not to contradict nature and the works of God, I'm putting it at 99% sure that you will get the job because you are a trained personnel. What we just need from you is to follow the simple instructions that will be given. And one of them is what you owe us is the certificate, the A1 certificate and the A2 certificate. With those, the rest you leave to us, we're going to work them out. When you go to Germany, where will you stay? The employers and the agencies that we are working with say that you will be provided for an accommodation for the first 3 months, and thereafter you can get your own place. Why the first 3 months? During the first 3 months, you will be undergoing additional trainings, courtesy of the employer's bill. That is the number one training is, for example, for nurses, you'll undergo additional training for a period of 6 months to 12 months for you to be enrolled in the German system. But meanwhile, as you will be undergoing the trainings, you will be working and you will be paid still, because the contract you will be signing when you are still here before you leave. Now, on accommodation still, after the 3 months, you can opt to get your own accommodation that fits you, because some hospitals, if they have the servant quarters where you can opt to stay in, but that might not be conducive and may not be very friendly for you. And some of you might be having families that you'd want to join you there. So the accommodation might be for one person. So if you're intending to invite your spouse or your children, then you'll get your own place at your own cost and also on your own account, because at least you shall have earned money for at least 3 months by that time. Allow me also to echo something that disturbs people, the question of racism. As Center for Africa Volunteers or Global Health and Immigration Consultancy, we've chosen deliberately to provide different routes, that is US, UK, Germany route for our people, because of the abuse that we see happening in our world, especially in the Middle East. So Germany and Europe, they are countries that respect human rights, and nobody would go, exercising racism, if I may use that word, against you openly. Perhaps if it's a thing that might happen, there are laws and rules that governs everything, and you're fully protected. And during our cross-cultural orientations, you will be taken through some of the guidance and the protection that you have as a person. On visa, air ticket, who will be paying your air ticket? Your air ticket would be paid 100% one way by the employer. That is sponsored. Same as visa is sponsored. However, you will pay the visa application fee in person when you will be going for visa appointment at the German embassy here in Nairobi. The cost could change, but I think it's around 70 euros. That is around 9,000 Kenya shillings. That is the only fee that you will pay. All the other fees after you've moved out of here, including the costs of the trainings, of course, you will be advised that you will advance your German language training to B1 and even C1 and C2 while in Germany. For B1, you'll take it under still the sponsorship of your employer when you get to Germany. Still on visa, there are a lot of documentation that is involved in this, and you've seen people applying for visas, and they're denied regardless of the qualifications or the reasons that they have. So in this case, we are working with immigration lawyers through our consultancy program, where we'll be doing for you the documentation and guiding you through all these processes through the consultancy program. So we have you covered, and you got not to worry about that. I think I don't have much to say, but I would give you the opportunity, because you didn't introduce yourselves. I would love you to introduce yourself very, very fast. And if you have a question, you can post the question before we can close this meeting. Now, we're going to have our first class. I don't know, we thought it would be third, but because of the holiday, actually the first week of May, the first day of May, which is not an holiday and not a weekend, that is the first time, the time we're going to have our first class. We have very, very competent tutor who will be taking you through this, and be sure that all of you will pass at least the A1, as we will be waiting for you to pass the A2, and we'll bid you farewell and bye-bye. A1 will take 150 hours, will take 150 hours. The recommended time is 120 hours. So we'll be doing additional hours so that you cover this language in details, you do your revision within that specified time, and within 8 weeks exactly, you'll be sitting your A1. And I think 2 weeks after that, you will have your result. And after we've received your result through the other processes that, translation of your documents, Mike will be taking you through that, and just putting your documents in order. That will be happening within this first, the first 8 weeks. Immediately you have that certificate, your documents will go to Germany, and an interview will be set with you, with our partners, and you will know exactly the direction that you are taking. And immediately you get your A2 certificate again after the eighth week, that is 16 weeks, you'll be good to be bid goodbye. And we shall all sing a farewell party to all of you. So back to Mike.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for that brief review of the program. And before I invite the others to introduce themselves, I would like to bring on board one of students. I said I will call you students because of the class, but you are professionals. He's a nurse. He joined the program, he already has B1, so we already started, A1, not B1. He already has the A1 certificate from Goethe Institute, and is a step further, because with the A1, we are able to start the process. I would just like to invite him over so that he can tell us his experience and how the program is faring on. So Mr. Felix Rabongo, if you can hear me.
Hello, guten Abend.
Guten Abend.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Mr. Mike. Well, I just want to say this, the German program has been fine with us. And first, I'd love to thank Frau Gloria for the path she has taken us through. Until now, we are doing a 2 level. Actually, before I did the German language, even me, I thought it was very difficult, but because of the skills that Frau Gloria gave to us, I'm very, very brave, and I believe my language is improving every day because she once told us that language is something that you have to practice every day. So that's what we are doing. So I just want to encourage also the the newly students who are going to undertake the E1 exam, just to just take time and respect the teacher, whatever she's going to tell you, just do exactly the things she said. And so far, with the program, I've been doing my process right now. Now I'm at a point where I'm doing the documentation. So by the time I'll be finalizing my A2 level, I think I'll be out of the country, hopefully by the end of this year. And thank you, Mr. Mike, for being there for me. And in case of any problem, I always go to you. You're always there for me. I want to thank you so much. I don't have much to say, and that's it.
Okay, and Mr. Rabongo was very lucky that immediately he had his A1 certificate. Our partner, Frau Karin Velenkota, was in the country. And maybe you can just tell us the experience and the little interaction that he had with her. Mr. Rabongo, if you can just take a second.
Yeah, actually, I had an interview with her and she explained to me everything that I need to do. And once I'm in Germany, what we need to do. And he told me about the language, that A2 is just to make us have the visa to go to Germany, so that when we arrive in Germany, we are going to continue with our B1 level as we work. Because I remember her telling me that when I go there, there's something called vocational training for the nurses. And during that time, I'll be paid for working, and also they will give me an accommodation. And what else? He also told me about the German training B1 level, so that I can get the nursing council for the German, so that I can also be a recognized nurse in Germany. And with that, when I'm fully qualified, there will be an increment in my salary. So what she also told me was that when I go there, I'll first work as assistant nurse, not as a qualified nurse, until I finish the qualification of a qualified nurse for the German program. So he told me that will take around 1 year, like 12 months, just like Mr. Josephat said. We shall go for another training in Germany until 12 months is when we get the right qualification in Germany, and then they increase our salary. Yeah, that's it, what he told me.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rabongo. Couldn't be any clearer. All right, so I will just follow the alphabetic order in my participant list so that we can just briefly introduce ourselves. Then if you have a question, you can post it, then we'll respond it later before we wrap up the session. So I will begin with Aggie, Miss Aggie.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Agnes Mwangi. I'm a nurse by profession, and I'm happy to join this group. Looking forward to learn the language. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Aggie. Then we have Mr. Aloysius.
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm Aloysius Omoto. I'm a clinical officer. I'm here to learn more about this German migration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aloysius. The next we have Ms. Kalen Mora.
Good evening. My name is Kalen Mora Mangera. I'm a physiotherapist. I'm happy to join this forum. Looking forward for more experience in learning more of German language. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Then we have Mr. Kimtai.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kimutai Victor, a clinical officer. Thank you for this opportunity. We're ready to learn and get more opportunities. Thank you for that.
All right, thank you. We have Mr. Agustin Ainda.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Agustin Ainda. a nurse by profession. I'm looking forward to more success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Agustin. Then we have Mr. Salim Suleiman.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, my name is Salim Suleiman. I'm a clinician, and I'm happy to be here. I'm actually looking forward for professional and personal development. I had a question concerning the classes, actually. Will it be on a daily basis or maybe on some selected days? Please, can you clarify on that? Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Suleiman, for introducing yourself and for posing the question. We'll respond to it at the end of the session. Next, we have Ms. Salome. Ms. Salome, you can unmute yourself.
Good evening. I'm
Good evening.
Salome. I'm excited to be in this group. I'm looking forward to join the rest. Thank you.
Thank you, Salome. Then we have Ms. Susan Opio. Ms. Susan, you can unmute yourself. You are muted.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Susan Opio. I'm a nurse by profession. Looking forward to join you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Then lastly on my list is Ms. Vivian.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Vivian, a nurse by profession, and looking forward for an interactive session. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We have more that didn't manage to join us today. I'm sure we'll be interacting with them when we start the classes. And I'm also going to form a WhatsApp group for those that have enrolled for the program. So we'll be getting communication in time. So Mr. Suleiman posed a question. I asked how frequent we'll be having the classes. So we intend to have the classes running from Monday to Friday, unless there is a holiday, from Monday to Friday. And we won't be having classes over the weekend unless it is a makeup or we have an agreement. You have an agreement with the tutor. So normal classes will be running from Monday to Friday unless otherwise. Thank you. Any other question from the platform? If you have a question, thank you for raising your hand. I want to say I'm glad that you know how to use the reactions already. I said with the digital era, I don't think I will be having a lot of issues with the classes. Okay, so Salome.
I'm having a question from, what was his name? Felix.
Yes, Mr. Rabongo.
Felix. Can he tell us about the interview? How are the questions? And then you didn't talk about the salary for the assistant nurse. Can you shed light on that?
Thank you. Mr. Rabongo, can you respond, please?
Well, I think for the questions, it depends because what I came to realize, the questions that I was being asked was not relating to the nursing stuff. It was all about how Germans are. Like, they just wanted to enlighten me about the German system. Those are the things they were trying to educate me on. And about the salary, there's always a salary range, of which I won't mention the salary they told me they will give me, but I'll just say the range. They said that the salary range for the assistant nurses is like around 1,500 euros to around 2,200, depending on the states. But for the qualified nurses, as an entry beginner, when you're a qualified nurse, the salary range, what she told me was around 2,500 to around 3,500. So those are the salary ranges which I was told. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Felix. I'm not going to add anything to that. We have a hand from Mr. Kim Chai.
Okay, I got a question. Why do you fix the classes to be every day, above for weekend?
All right, that is a good one, Mr. Kim Chai. So like we said, we intend to have the classes running for exactly 4 months. And according to the standards from the internationally recognized institute that governs German language, that is the Goethe Institute, we need to have teachers student contact for at least 120 hours. And so if we have to conclude the classes within the stipulated time that you're looking at, then we need to have the classes running on a daily basis. We need to have the classes running on a daily basis in order to meet the set standards of Goethe Institute. So yes, we are going to have the classes running from Monday to Friday, unless there is a public holiday. And you do not have to worry about that because it is a very interactive class. And if at all, or due to unavoidable circumstances, you can't make it to the class, then like I said earlier, we're going to record the classes and we'll be availing the recordings so that you can go through them at your most convenient time. So like I said, the program is not going to interfere with your schedule. We're going to take that into consideration. Thank you, Mr. Kim Tai. Now we have a hand from Mr. Aloysius Luambo.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, my question is this. I want to know maybe the position a clinical officers occupies in the German system. And if you're talking about translating maybe the units or the units that a person has covered, what position is this person going to occupy in German? That's one. Number two, what if you are interested in advancing your education, maybe in Germany, which kind of level of German language competency are you supposed to be in possession of? Then number three, if you have maybe a nurse with a bachelor's degree, then with an additional master's degree in public health, what additional benefits does this person have when he goes to the other side? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Mr. Aloysius. So would you like to respond to that, or I take him through?
You can take him through.
All right, sure. So thank you, Mr. Aloysius, for the question. Number one, like I said, yes, we have this thing that has been going on. We encountered it on our social media platforms. Folks were saying that clinical officers are only native to East Africa and they cannot work anywhere else. And that is not true. Like I said, we have clinical officers all over the world, but the only difference is the name. Like in China, they're called physician assistants, and in other places they're called assistant doctors. So even in Germany, we have professionals that are doing exactly what you're doing here. The only difference is they don't go by the name clinical officers. And that's why in placing you, we go down to the units level. We use the transcripts. So I meant to understand there are some specialization still in clinical medicine, like we have, they called anesthesians, something very tricky to pronounce. So with such, we are going to place you like for anesthesia, they're going to handle exactly that. What we're trying to, yes, thank you, Ms. Susan, for emphasizing that. What I'm trying to emphasize is you're going to work in a professional capacity. You're going to work in a professional capacity, and you're going to be placed according to your academic qualification. That is what you're going to, that is the position that you're going to take when you get to Germany. Then number two, you asked about advancing your education. Yes, we have the opportunity, especially with the German economy and education, it is very superb because higher education in Germany is absolutely free, even for immigrants that have settled for work. So we have a very good opportunity for advancing the education. But what we always want to emphasize is what you're going to get is a work permit. So that basically states that you're going to work, and any other ventures that you're going to undertake, then they should be on a part-time basis. So you're going to work. That is the main reason why you are in Germany. Your education, you can take it on a part-time basis, and we are going to guide you. We have our immigration lawyers that are going to take you through the most convenient way of advancing your education while you are in Germany. Then you also asked about somebody having a basic qualification, then having an additional qualification. And that is why we stated the range. The ranges, we said the salary ranges are different. Like Mr. Felix Rabongo said, between 2,500 and 3,500. So we are going to take all this into consideration. We're going to take all your qualification into consideration. And that explains why we are not saying that you're going to earn 2,500 and that's it. No, that explains the ranges. So with your qualification, it is going to determine how much you're going to earn in Germany. And like I said, this is an opportunity. We call it a stepping stone, just to allow you to have a way into Germany. Then from there, we are going to have very many diverse opportunities. And these are some of the things that you're going to exploit. So we are using this as a stepping stone. Then once we get to Germany, we're going to have different interaction with different employers and everything. And I'm sure we're going to land even more better opportunities in Germany. Thank you. All right, I think I've responded to that. And we don't have any other hand. We've already spent an hour. Oh, an hour now is very short. We didn't intend to take more than an hour in this orientation. Of course, we are going to have very many other interactions as the program goes by. And any communication that comes in will ensure that you have it in time. So, ladies and gentlemen, if there is no any other question, then kindly allow me to wrap up our session for today. Like I said, you're going to be, it seems like Mr. Josephat has something to add.
So sorry about that. Thank you so again for all of you for joining this program. What we are committing to, number one, we are committing to giving you the best German language training that would see all of you passing the A1 and also proceeding with the A2. We are also committing and assuring you of the job placement in Germany because we have those opportunities for you. The third thing that we are committing for you is the guidance throughout the transitional period. So with us, we were covered. And what I'm only pleading with all of you, if I may use that word, is communication and commitment to the program. Mr. Mike is in charge of the program 100%. Perhaps we will not be interacting anywhere. And also we have Ms. Tethi, who is our administrator, who is also handling administratively the program. So be rest assured that we are going to support you all through the way. And perhaps you can refer a few of your friends before we start the classes on, Mr. Mike, what's the date again?
It should be on 4th. Yeah.
On 4th, yeah. So before we start the class on 4th, you can refer to us, a few of your friends to join the program. Those who are qualified, those who are good and are qualified, we'll be glad to support them in the process. Thank you so much. Be blessed.
All right. Mr. Aloysius, I see your hand is up. I hope it is a brief one, and I hope it is the last question.
Okay. Kindly tell us about relocating with the family. Is it possible? And if not, initially, how long does it take for one to invite your family over? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aloysius. I'll answer it very briefly. Our German counterparts are very serious about the matter of family. And yes, you have the opportunity of relocating with your family to Germany. That one, they take it very seriously, the family reunion aspect of the program. However, the employer is only going to cater for you. When you transit over to Germany, the employer is going to take care of you. And so if you have to relocate with your family, then you have to take care of the cost. How it works in Germany is if you're inviting somebody over, then you have to show your account to ascertain that you have enough money to take care of them for the period that you say they're going to be in Germany. And for a start, we always feel like that can be overwhelming. But if you are able to meet the cost, then they are very much open for that. So we always encourage that first you go, because you're going to be given accommodation for the first 3 months, and it's going to be just for a head. You go to Germany first, establish yourself. Then after you've worked like for 3 months and looked for your alternative accommodation and have something in your bank account to show for, to prove that you can take care of your family, you can then invite them over. So yes, there is a possibility of getting to Germany with your family, but of course, we'll advise you on the best way to go about it. And like I told you, we advise that you get to Germany first, spend the first 3 months, establish yourself, get some cash, then you can invite them over, and we'll be very glad to help you through the process. Thank you so much, Mr. Aloysius, for that very interactive questions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to wrap up the session. Like I said, we are going to have very many interactions as we proceed with the program. And I wish you all the best. For those that are in Matatu, I hope we've now relieved you. All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you next time. Have a good evening.